Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? This is Gamerz here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make your very own aquarium in Fortnite Creative. Now, one of the more requested tutorials I get here on the channel is how to make your very own creative on your own island, and I'm going to show you guys the very basic and simple tutorial on how to do one for yourself. If you guys do find this tutorial useful, make sure to leave a like. If you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe button. I'm going to be doing a lot of tutorials here on the channel, so if you want to stay up to date with everything you need to know in Fortnite Creative, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to support me in the farm shop, that'll be code Gamerz. Let's just jump into today's tutorial. Now, first thing you want to start off with is getting your dimensions right for your aquarium. You can make the aquarium however big, however small you want it to be, but the bigger you make it, the more detail you're going to have that into it, while the smaller it is, the less detail you're going to have. The wall I used is in the structure gallery reflective black. I thought it looked really cool with the fog reflecting off it and the lighting, and it fit in really well with the map. So for this tutorial, we're going to be doing a simple 5 wide. We're going to be doing a 3 tall. And we're going to have a little side panel here that's about this big. Obviously, if you want to make this bigger, like I said, you can go for it. It's just going to require a lot more detail. Once you have your base like so, I recommend adding this little wall just like so here. This allows us so when you put water up above here, it makes you feel like you're underwater. It makes it feel more like an aquarium than having no water at the top. Now, once you have your aquarium set up like so here, you want to go to the Art Deco Prop gallery, and you're going to want to go ahead and select this piece or this piece right on over here. You want to have it like so, and you're just going to want to simply place it down like so along here. What this acts as is it acts at like a railing. So that way it makes you feel like you're in a proper aquarium and you aren't able to go into the exhibit. Additionally as well, I forgot to mention, you're going to want to go ahead and grab this piece here. It's like a little column over here. You just want to go ahead and put it like so along. If you're using this piece here, just because if you take a look, the corners like so up there, they don't like line up properly for some weird reason. So this just kind of makes it look like the corners line up properly. Once you have that set up, you're going to want to start setting up your terrain. The terrain I used is in the Arid Cliff Gallery, and I went all the way down to over here. I went just like so here, resized it, made it go through like that, played around with the height, depth, everything that you'll need. So just like so here, I'm going to want to move this. Then obviously you can play around with the resizing of how you want this to look and everything. It just really depends on how you want it to sort of look and everything. So like I said, it's always nice to have a little bit of like an elevation within your aquariums. It makes it look a lot nicer than having no elevation. Additionally, if you're planning to have stuff on the ground here, it makes it a lot easier to showcase some of the stuff. Additionally, if you don't have the room to kind of hide this around this with the terrain pieces and everything like that, what you can easily do as well is you can have a sand floor from the sand and rock floor gallery and have it down within the map, and it'll just work just as well. Now, once you're up to this point here, there's really several different ways on how you can decorate your aquarium. I want to show you guys some of the several different ways that you can do it, how to add a background, a whole bunch of other stuff like so. So for a background, I went to the volcanic rock gallery and I grabbed this piece right on so over here. I resized the height to as small as it can be and played around with the rotation to make it just like up, just like so here. I then placed it along the wall here so that way it looks like a nice rock background and doesn't necessarily look too weird with the plain black background that we had beforehand. Obviously, we rotated and put it along this side here. Now, this side was a bit more difficult because of how it looks and everything like that, which is why I also recommend, if you don't, like I said, if you use this wall, I recommend obviously having these pillars because the pillars look better. But just in general, if you're using a different wall, try to find a pillar to place it just like so. It makes it a lot easier to hide these rocks so the rocks won't look as bad. So let's just say we delete this pillar here. You see that it kind of goes through. You see the black wall behind it. It doesn't look as good as if you were to have the pillar here. Once you have the wall set up, I recommend starting to put down the walls or the water so that way you can see how the aquarium is feeling. Now we place down the water just like so here, and it adds a really cool underwater effect to make you feel like you're actually underwater. Now these I obviously recommend for having the aquarium. These make it really feel like an aquarium, and like so when it comes to placing down the rocks, the corals, everything else in it, it is really up to you. Now since I published the aquarium map, there's been so many different ways you can create really cool animals. Like since I did build this, you can add the Easter eggs were added in, and some people have made some really cool fish out of the Easter eggs. Additionally, if you don't want to create your own custom fish, something you can do is you can go to the item spawner here. You can have it placed down just like so, and you can drop down a flopper, slurpfish, whatever type of fish you want within your map, just like so into here. Now obviously you take your look, you have the fish. It's not going to be doing a swimming motion obviously, but this is something you can do to act like a fish if you don't want to create your own custom fish. Additionally, something you do as to act as like seaweed or grass or something like that is you can go ahead and head to the grass and dirt floor gallery B. Head down right on over to here and you have this really cool grass looking piece here. I recommend taking it off grid snap and just resize the height to as high as it can go. You can go ahead and place some of it down just like so here, and it adds a really cool kind of seaweed effect here, and you can easily put some really cool looking fish within the grass. Additionally, something you can do as well is you can go ahead and head up on over to the tropical rock gallery, and in here there's this really cool rock looking piece. Go ahead just like so. You can play around with the sizing. I recommend using this piece because it looks really cool. And in my aquarium map, as you guys may recall or not, I had some really cool looking pillars going across some of the areas just like so. Just different types of rock formations can really make this map feel a bit different and feel like an actual aquarium compared to the nature area, because in the nature, some of you guys may be aware, these rock formations are not necessarily the most common, but within aquariums, people like to do them because it adds a lot of cool effects to it. It makes it a lot easier for decorating the actual aquarium. Now I put some weird rock formations in here. Obviously, you can play around, put it in different ways that you want to, but this is just one type of detail you can have within your map. Additionally, something else that you can have is go to the tropical rock gallery and select this rock piece right on over here and resize it to height to the smallest it can be. Something that's really cool and something that allows you to put a lot of detail into your map is to put these rocks simply just like so here. These can add a little bit of a rock formation here, increase the elevation likeness within the map, and allows you to put some really cool coral or props or custom fish, custom crabs, whatever you have onto this area here. Once you have this sort of setup like this, or whatever detail you have on the map, I recommend heading to the Coral Prop Gallery. Within the Coral Prop Gallery, there's a ton of cool looking coral you can put in your map, a ton of cool statues, these jelly-like things that you can use instead if you don't want to use fish. And additionally, it can add a ton of detail within your map. So for example, just like so here, I like to resize the clam real quick, and I could like to put them right on so onto this rock right up here. On this one here, because we don't want to have the same sort of repetitiveness within our decoration, we can put a little statue just like so there. Additionally, this coral piece can add so much detail within the map if you resize it and play around with it correctly. As you see where we have these coral pieces placed around now, it has an aquatic feel to the map. Another coral piece I highly recommend using is this blue coral piece right here. It looks really cool if you resize it and play around with it correctly. Additionally as well, I'm adding some of these jelly-like structures into the map. They add a lot of coolness and add more like a moving effect to the map. Another coral piece I recommend adding in are these little starfish-like things onto the map. You can easily resize them, place around, and these rocks are perfect for having down some of these really cool looking starfish. Another piece you can put into your map that's obviously in this size aquarium won't work, but could if you have a bigger sized aquarium, is this ship right on over here. Play around with this, and obviously if you play around with it, get the right rotation, right size and everything, and have it look like a shipwreck sort of, because on most aquariums, a lot of people have like a shipwreck on the bottom of the aquarium here. You can easily put something like so here, put some vines on it, and it'll look really cool. Additionally as well, I'm not going to showcase in this aquarium, but if you do want to decorate these back rocks here because you don't feel like the texture is good enough, something you can do is easily just put down a couple bit of these rocks here from the tropical rock gallery, put them on the wall, and have some vines down from the nature shrubs gallery, and you can have a really cool looking wall effect as well. Like over here, I put a vine down just like so here. It can add another like tropical effect within the aquarium. Once you have this set up, another important part of the aquarium you need to have is your lighting. Go to the Art Deco Prop Gallery and grab this prop right on over here. If you take a look within an area, it adds a really cool lighting effect. If you take a look at night, it makes this effect look even cooler. I recommend resizing this to as small as you can and have it fit within these little aquarium pieces just like so here. Where you have these lights placed can really change the feel within the map. As you walk into it, it feels a lot brighter than it really is. Additionally as well, if we were to put a roof on this, it makes the light pop even more. Now the only negative to these Art Deco lights is sometimes the light does not appear from a distance, and since when I actually built my aquarium when it first came out, I feel like just from doing this tutorial, I feel like lighting textures have changed just a little bit within how far you see it compared to the last aquarium map that I did. Now obviously the lighting still looks good and I recommend having it because it can add so much depth within the map, but like I said, it has changed a little bit, so it is just slightly different. Now the last thing you want is you're going to want to go to the Spooky Particle Gallery and you're going to want to go ahead and grab this fog piece right on over here. This is the fog that I use to get the underwater effect within the aquarium. So I want to enable during all phases, and for the color I used aquamarine. Alright, I realized I said the wrong color. It is cerulean. Motion speed, I recommend having it set to very slow. Opaqueness, I believe that's how you pronounce that word. I'm not very good at speaking, but I recommend having that at a lower percentage as well, depending on what your lighting is like within the map and depending on how sort of everything looks within the aquarium. Have motion type set to linear, double-sided set to yes, so that way you see the effect inside and out. And just like that, you can pick up this, resize it just like so here, and put it down within your map. Have just like so here, and like I said, based on what your map is looking like, depending on how far the lighting looks from a distance, that really depends on how you want the fog to look. And something I did do for my aquarium to help with the lighting is I actually had lights down within the actual map. But collision is set to everything. We want that set to nothing. And having these lights outside the map really helps the visibility of the whole aquarium. Now, like I said, there's so many different designs, so many different ways to decorate your aquarium yourself. Like I said earlier on, there's so many different possibilities of how you can have your aquarium set up. You can have a lot more textures to the aquarium with using a lot of different rocks. You can have a lot more colors within your aquarium with using a whole bunch of type of coral and different props. You can have a whole bunch of different like fish and everything like that if you custom make it using the eggs from the Easter egg gallery, and the possibilities are endless. Now, I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial, and like I said, if you guys have any questions for this tutorial, if you guys have any like you need help or anything like that, comment it down below and I'll do my best to help you guys out. If you guys did enjoy today's tutorial, make sure to leave a like. If you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe button. I'm going to be posting a lot more tutorials in the future of how to build really cool looking maps for yourself and a whole bunch of other really useful stuff for Fortnite Creative. Additionally, if you want to support me in the Fortnite shop, that'll be code Gamerz. Burn that. I'll see you guys around and take care.